Episode 178. So Danny tells Anita and Nicole that she canceled the photo shoot and used the time for her honeymoon. Danny tells Anita and Nicole that Andre only agreed to do the photo shoot because of her. She says she wanted to show him he comes first. So she tells them she's falling in love with Andre to her surprise. Next, Jacob tells his dad that seeing Isaiah change his life, it gives him hope that Detective Psycho Malone can do as well. Well, he can do it as well. So I think it's too late for that. And Detective Psycho Malone doesn't want to change. So the chief tells Jacob that Isaiah turned down his mother's invitation to Thanksgiving dinner. So he says that Isaiah asked his mother to have lunch with him the next day. So the chief says that it's apparent Isaiah don't want to be around the family. Well, maybe if you would put aside your pride and make him feel welcome, maybe he would. Next, Eva meets Isaiah at the hospital cafeteria, and she tells him that her dad was able to get Peaches in a clinical trial. So she tells him that Peaches is the only person who can handle Cray Cray. And she's scared that when Peaches passes, that her mother's obsession with her dad will get worse. Guess what? It already has. Next, Ted tries to get Kat to join him and Eva for Thanksgiving dinner, and she tells him that they haven't spent much time together. Ted tries to get Kat to join him and Eva for Thanksgiving dinner, and she tells him that they haven't spent much time together since he found out about Eva. So she says that why should she have to change? And that's Kat's main issue. She doesn't want to share her dad with Eva. And Ted is like beating a dead horse because the feelings of hatred that Kat has for Eva is just too raw. The girl has been too spoiled. She's been the center of attention all her life, and it's carried over to her adulthood, so that now she's like a little brat running around there. I don't want a sister, as if it's her choice. Next, Isaiah's doing poetic flirting with Eva, so he goes in for a kiss, and Ted is in the background staring at him. And I tell you, Ted's being protective of Eva now, but she's an adult, so she don't need that kind of protecting. He's acting like she's a teenager. I know he lost time with her, but damn, she's grown. Next, Ted tells Tomas that he still needs to be mentored before thinking about being a partner at the law firm. And Bill tells him the firm is gearing towards being a family-oriented law firm. And I think Tomas is taking what Bill said to heart. And he's thinking that maybe Bill is insinuating that he gets married, which if he tries to propose to Kat, I don't think that's going to last. Well, yeah. I don't think that's something he want to do right now. Next, Jacob tells the chief that Isaiah was getting in trouble in the past because he wanted his dad's attention. And Jacob says that Isaiah always said he was the golden child. No wonder the chief and Isaiah's relationship is strained, because he thinks that he's the black sheep, and I am going through that even in my personal life. I have a family member who thinks the same, and it's always ridiculous because it only be in that person's head. It's not the reality. It's what they have construed to be a reality that don't exist with everybody else. Next, Detective Psycho Malone sees Leslie sitting alone at Uptown, and Leslie says that she has a bad reputation in town. Oh, you don't say. Wow, we didn't know that. And Jacob didn't make it easy for her. So Detective Psycho Malone says that Jacob was a thorn in his side when they were partners. Of course he was, because he was always asking questions, because he knew his ass was dirty. And I think Psycho Malone thinks he has a chance with Cray Cray. And both of them are delusional and they're unhinged. So Actually, Detective Psycho Malone would be a better fit for Leslie. I think he would know how to calm her crazy down. Next, Ted introduces himself to Isaiah and he tells Eva she's invited to Thanksgiving dinner, and Eva tells him she can't leave her mother alone on a holiday. Okay, whatever. Even if she decided to do something on her own, Leslie ain't gonna be alone. She always will find something to get into. Next, Kat tells Nicole about Ted inviting her to Thanksgiving dinner and he's inviting Eva. So Kat says she's trying really hard to not cut him out of her life. This is how spoiled this girl is, to the point where she will ghost her dad because she's mad of an extra sibling. That's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So Nicole tells her she thinks it's a great idea, and Nicole need to do more when it comes to Bratty Cat. She does not put her in her place. She knows that her daughter, the way she thinks, it's not going to serve her well outside of the gates when she's dealing with folks who are not at the country club or not part of Fairmount, and she's just going into DC with folks who ain't privileged. So let her go around just everyday folk who ain't rich and see how that kind of attitude works. It won't be good for her. Next, Bill sees Danny, Nicole, and Anita at the country club having breakfast, and he walks over to Danny talking about they need to talk about Winterfest. Oh, dude, if Danny was by herself still tripping out over him, he wouldn't dare come over there talking about anything. He needs to stop. So he had to throw in a dig saying he hoped she had a wonderful honeymoon, and he don't. And Danny lays it on thick by saying she never thought she would be in such a loving marriage. And Bill is standing there looking crazy. He needs to go find his con artist child bride, Haley, who's trying to poison him. And for his sake, I hope he finds out before it's too late. Next, Ted tells Cray Cray he wants to spend Thanksgiving with Eva, and he asks Leslie if she minds if he joins them. And see, that's the problem with Ted. He's always giving Cray Cray an inch, and she takes a mile, and he hasn't learned his lesson. You cannot give her not even the tiniest inch, because she's going to take advantage. So now she thinks that she has a chance because he's softening up and inviting her to have dinner with him and stuff. Wrong move. Wrong move. And that ends the episode.